Hi everyone, it's Debbie with Book and Bujo. Welcome if you're new, welcome back if you've been here before. Today, let's go through the 52 Book Club Readathon Challenge for 2025 and see how I'm doing so far. The 52 Book Club Challenge is a year-long reading challenge, and I will leave the link for it down below in case you want to jump on in and see if you can fit some of your reads from earlier in the year into it and get it completed. There's 52 prompts, and then there's also some mini challenges throughout the year. I don't typically do those. I usually just stick to the normal 52 prompts. So let's go through those and see how I'm doing so far. Prompt number 1. A pun in the title. And this one I read Dungeons and Drama by Christy Boyce. 2. The character has red hair. Well, there's at least a couple, there's 3 at least that I've read that I know the main character has red hair. But for this one I read The Solstice Court by Jade Juniper. Prompt number 3. The title starts with an M. And for this one I read My Friend the Murderer by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Number 4. Title starts with an N. And for this one, I read Nightmare Abbey by Thomas Love Peacock. Prompt number 5, the book contains a heist. And for this one, I read Red Seas Under Red Skies by Scott Lynch, the second book in the Gentleman Bastard series. Prompt number 6, genre 1, set in spring. There's quite a few. I mean, Anne of Green Gables, the whole series, usually has spring in there. Actually, I'm pretty sure most of them have all of the seasons in it, but that was a good one for this. I do plan on reading Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett, the first book in the Emily Wilde series. I haven't read it yet, but it's on my TBR for June. Prompt number 7, genre 2, set in summer. And for this one, I read Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Tosagaju Kawaguchi. Prompt number 8, genre 3, set in autumn. Have not read one for this yet, but there's still plenty of time and lots of great autumn books out there. But I do plan on reading The Book Thief is this one by Mark Zuzak? I think so. Prompt 9, genre 4, set in winter. And I just read a great one. I loved it, and it was A Wonderful Christmas Crime, the 6th book in the Christmas Tree Farm Mysteries by Jacqueline Frost. That was so good. They're so cute, slightly cheesy, but in a good way. Prompt 10, the author's last name is also a first name, and for that I read The Eyes Are the Best Part by Monica Kim. Prompt 11, read a prequel. And for this I read Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins, the prequel novel to The Hunger Games. Prompt 12, the book has a moon on the cover, and for this one I read Court of Shadows by C.N. Crawford. And this is the first book in the Institute of the Shadow Fae series. Prompt number 13. The title is 10 letters or less, and for this I read Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. Prompt number 12, climate fiction. Have not done this one yet. If you have any good climate fiction books, let me know down in the comments below. But for now, I think I plan on reading How High We Go in the Dark. I've heard good and meh things about it, so not sure how I'll feel about it, but that's what I'm planning so far. If you have another one you think I would like, let me know down in the comments. Prompt number 15 includes Latin American history, and for this one I read 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Prompt number 16, author has won an Edgar Award, and for this one I read Sadie by Courtney Summers. Prompt 17, the book is told in verse, and for this one there's so many that I've read this year that, yeah, I can do without any more of these the rest of the year. Paradise Lost, Hamlet, All's Well That Ends Well. Yeah, too many. But I did choose The Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. Prompt number 18, a character who can fly, and I took this one not quite so literally as the person flies like Superman, but they have the ability to fly a plane. And that is Scarlet by Marissa Meyer, the second book in the Lunar Chronicles. Prompt 19, the book has short chapters, and for this I read Too Far to Fall, the first book in the Edie Doyle mysteries by Shane Sawyer. Prompt 20, a fairy tale retelling. Now I could use Canterbury Tales because there are some retellings in that one, but since I used that for the first one, have not read it yet, but I am going to read it, and that is The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axie O. Prompt 21, the character's name is in the title. Well, I already used Hamnet, so I'm going to go ahead and use Hamlet by William Shakespeare for the 22, a found family trope, and for this one I read Table for Five by Izzy Bromley, and it was so good. Such a good story. Prompt 23 has sprayed edges, and I'm pretty sure some of the books I've read already probably have sprayed edges, but decided I'm going to go with these beautiful sprayed edges, and that is The Dragon Bone Chair by Tad Williams, the first book in the Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn series, and I plan on reading this one in June. Prompt 24. The title is a spoiler, and I have decided I am going to read My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. Now, I have not read this one yet, and no plans to read it soon, but hopefully before the end of the year I will get that one done. If you have any other suggestions for this one for me, let me know down in the comments. Prompt 25. Breaks the Fourth Wall. I had to look this one up and for suggestions because I wasn't quite sure, but apparently Rogue Protocol by Martha Wells, the third book in the Murderbot Diaries, works. Yay! Okay, now this next book. I'm still struggling which way I want to go, which prompt I want to use for it, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to use it for this one, and that's prompt 26. More than 1 million copies sold. Now, there's quite a few, but most of them I didn't actually read during this year. I read them last year, or I have read them, but I really needed it for a different prompt. So for this one, I'm going to go with Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Also a great book. Especially if you're an 80s kid at all in any way, shape, or form. The 80s references throughout this book are just chef's kiss, on point. Prompt number 27 features a magician. I struggled this one a little bit because I know there's a lot of stories I read that people can do magic, but they're not necessarily termed a magician. You know, witch, warlock, that kind of thing. I did look through the Goodreads list that they make. They have Goodreads lists for all of the prompts, and then there's book options in there. So I went through that, and I did find out that One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig does have a magician in it. And that is the first book in the Shepherd King series. Prompt 28, a crossover in a shared universe. And for this one, I read The Tower of Nero, the fifth and final book in the Trials of Apollo series by Rick Riordan. And then prompt 29, the book from the shared universe from prompt number 28. I did think about using the Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Ultimate Guide, but I felt that was probably cheating a little bit. I mean, I feel like this could work, but I do want to read The Chalice of the Gods, which is kind of the next book in the lineup for the Percy Jackson series, also by Rick Riordan, so I'm probably going to read that one. If for some reason I don't get to it, I will sneak that other one in. Prompt 30, read a book that is in the public domain, and well, I have read a lot of them in verse. But I'm going to use Paradise Lost by John Milton. Prompt 31, the audiobook has multiple narrators, and I'm pretty sure I have quite a few that I have listened to that have at least more than one. There's at least 2, but there were a handful that I read that has 4 or 5 narrators in it, and I decided to go with Dealing with Dragons by Patricia C. Weirdy, and this is the first book in the Enchanted Forest Chronicles. Prompt 32 includes a diary entry. A couple that I did read on this one, and I think Sleeping Giants would be a really good one, but I decided to go with The Tropic of Serpents by Marie Brennan, the second book in the Memoirs of Lady Trent series. Prompt 33, a standalone novel. I've read a few of those, but I used some of them for other prompts as well, but I finally chose one, and that was The Blue Castle by Lucy Maud Montgomery. Prompt 34, a direction in the title, and for this one I read East of Eden by John Steinbeck. Prompt 35, written in the third person. I also looked this one up just to be on the safe side, and Nona the Ninth by Tamsin Muir, the third book in the Locked Tomb series, is in third person. Prompt 36, the final sentence is less than 6 words long. I was like, oh, great. I get most of my books from my library or their audiobooks. How am I going to figure this one out? So I went to their handy dandy little Goodreads list for this one, and luckily found Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, which I have not read yet, but it is on my June TBR, so very excited to get into that one and cross off this prompt. Prompt 37, a genre chosen for you by someone else. And for this one, I decided to go with the horror bingo readathon prompt that has a horror book that is out of your genre comfort zone, and I'm going to either read Perdido Street Station or Bunny by Mona Awad, because I want to read both of those anyway, and that one, both of those work for that prompt. Prompt 38, an adventure story. Again, this is, most of the books I read have adventure in them somewhere. But I decided to choose Towers of Midnight by Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson. And that is the 13th book, I believe, in the Wheel of Time series. Prompt 39 has an epigraph, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. I looked up the list of books that they suggest for this, and then I also looked up what an epigraph was, and that's basically like a quote or something at the beginning of each chapter, and Cassandra Clare has a ton of those in the Shadowhunter series. But Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson, so any of the Stormlight Archive books, the 5th book in the Stormlight Archives, works for that. Chapter 40, Stream of Conscious Narrative. Now, unfortunately, I read this one last year, but Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf is an amazing example of this prompt, and it is so good. If you want one, it's great. It's, yeah. If you don't like stream of consciousness writing, it's at least somewhat short, but it is pretty funny. Mrs. Dalloway's getting ready to host a party, and it's her going about her day, trying to do all these party details and being distracted by the world around her and everything else that's happening in her life, and you're in her brain for all of that. It's kind of fun. But I read that one already in a previous year, so not this year. But I did read The Sound and the Fury by William Faulkner, and that one works for this prompt as well. It's much longer though. Prompt number 41. Cover font is in a primary color. This is where Ready Player One would have worked really well. But I did find that The Dark Forest by Chixin Liu, the 2nd book in the Remembrance of Earth's Past series, works for this. Prompt number 42, a non-human antagonist, and for this one I read Silver in the Wood by Emily Tesh, the 1st book in the Green Hollow duology. Prompt number 43, explores social class, and for this I read The Will of the Many by James Islington, and it's the 1st book in the Hierarchy series. Prompt 44, a celebrity on the cover, and for this one I have not read anything yet, but I do plan on reading Brat, an 80s story, and this is by Andrew McCarthy. Prompt number 45, an author that releases more than one book a year, and for that I plan on reading The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. Have not read it yet, but looking forward to it. That could also work for an autumn book for one of the earlier prompts, I think. Prompt number 46, read in a Burr month. So obviously can't do that one yet because that's September, October, November, December. So have to wait and see what I'm going to read in those months and pick one. 47, I think it was blue. So read a book with a blue on the cover or in the title. There's a few different options you could go with, but I decided to read Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston, the 1st book in the Amari's Supernatural Investigations series. Prompt 48, related to the word puzzle. I think I'm going to read, I was looking through all of the options on the Goodreads list that they created, and I think I'm going to go with We Used to Live Here. But there's also, I saw a book that was called The Puzzle Master. That might be kind of interesting too. If I can find that, I might read that. If not, We Used to Live Here. Prompt number 49. Set in a country with an active volcano. I may finally read Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Prompt number 50. Set in the 1940s. Well, I have read many, but not this year, unfortunately. But I think Pachinko works for this one, and that's one I've been wanting to read for a while now, so I may pick that one up. Prompt 51, a book that is 300 to 400 pages long, and for this one I read Black Leviathan by Bernd Perplees, and that one was like 346 or somewhere right in there, right in the middle. And then lastly, prompt 52, a book published in 2025, and I read A Language of Dragons by S.F. Williamson. So far, I have read 37 out of 52 books, so not too bad, over half, and we're only in May, so that's pretty good. I have a few more months left to go to finish it out. So that's it for the 52 Book Club for now. Again, they have some mini challenges, which I don't typically do. I think at least one mini challenge a quarter. Sometimes I think there's like 3 prompts that go with it. I'm not sure exactly how that works because I've never really done that one, but if you would like to participate, I will leave all the information linked down below. And I would love to find out if you're participating in the 52 Book Club. And if you are participating in it, how are you doing so far this year in getting all of your prompts read? And that's all I got for now. And I will see you again soon for more updates. And until next time, keep reading. Bye.